freeway, which is shut down due to a deadly wreck. Details and video coming up.
Also at 8, wildlife authorities set a trap for the bear squatting under an Altadena home for the past month, but the trap triggered the wrong beast. We'll explain.
And when is the right time to wrap up Christmas decor until next year? Experts suggest when it's time to pack it up. And we want to know, do you agree?
Sunny skies, but gusty winds today and tomorrow, and then more rain in the forecast just in time for New Year's. We'll talk all about it coming up.
Well, good Sunday morning, everyone, and welcome to the KTLA Morning News at 8 a.m. I'm Megan Tellis.
And I'm Lauren Lister. We thank you so much for joining us on, as you pointed out, the last weekend of the year.
Last weekend of the year and the final hour of today's show.
I know it's short today. Sorry about that. We're ending a little early. Just today, and then next week we're back to usual. Yeah. I like that game.
That was so fun. And I think, well, my mom had texted, and she's like, I think it's shed, not house.
That was not a shed.
It didn't look
was
like a shed, but it makes sense with red shed.
That was a house.
Bread.
Yeah. Whatever.
Define shed, right.
It's a game I'll never play again, so it's fine. All right. Outside, we're seeing clear skies today, but those gusty winds will start to pick up as we head into later today, and they'll last for a few days. 45 degrees in Van Nuys right now. It's 44 in Los Alamitos, 46 in Camarillo, and 37 in Murrieta. All right, wind advisory for this area from 6 to 10 p.m. Then it turns into a high wind watch, and that's what this is as well. That starts tonight for everyone. Again, we're going to see some really strong wind gusts over the coming days. This afternoon, high temperatures should look like this. 41 for Big Bear, 68 for Long Beach, 65 in Santa Monica, 63 for Santa Clarita, 57 in Palmdale. And like I said earlier, more rain in the forecast. We'll talk about wind coming up.
Casey, thank you. We begin with breaking news in East LA. The southbound 5 freeway shut down after a deadly, fiery wreck.
Yeah, multiple vehicles were involved, including a big rig. Nearly a dozen people have been rushed to the hospital. KTLA's Jennifer McGraw's been out there since this morning in Boyle Heights. Jennifer, with the investigation into the deadly crash still underway at this hour. What is new at this hour? I see the traffic is creeping along to the side of you there. What's going on?
Yeah, Megan and Lauren, the 10 freeway still is shut down. They're still trying to clear out those vehicles that are just right behind me. But people sitting on the freeway sat out here for about 2 hours, and now everybody who's entering the 10 freeway is now having to exit off the 4th Street exit. Now, if you can see down there, that's where the wreck happened. It appears as though they've moved the semi, and they're still working on moving some of those vehicles. This was a very serious crash. It happened around 5:07 this morning, right at the 10-560 split. Now, take a look at some of this video shot by witnesses on scene. We can see at least one car is on fire. Several emergency crews were here on scene helping drivers and passengers involved in this massive wreck. We know at least 15 people were involved. 10 were transported to the hospital. Sadly, one person we know has been killed. It's unclear at this point what caused the collision. The scene, though, absolute nightmare with mangled car pieces all across the 5-lane highway. Drivers behind the scene of the crash sat here again for 2 hours this morning before emergency personnel could clear a way for cars and trucks to navigate off the freeway. Others here able to exit off the 4th Street exit. CHP issuing this alert this morning saying it could take at least 3 hours to clear the scene, and we have reached that 3-hour mark. And again, the 5 freeway is still shut down, but it does look like things are improving. And again, this is at the 10-65 split. Anybody coming southbound 10, take a different direction. That's the very latest. We are live in Boyle Heights. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jennifer. Things are returning back to normal meantime in Castaic this morning after a natural gas line ruptures, shutting down the 5 freeway in that area for hours.
Yeah, the break also forcing thousands to shelter in place before crews finally shut it down. KTLA's Omar Lewis live in Castaic this morning, where the cause of that leak is under investigation today. Good morning, Omar. How is it out there?
Hi there. I can tell you we can still smell that natural gas odor here in the air in Castaic today, but officials do say there is no current threat to public safety at this point after that natural gas line ruptured on Saturday, causing the 5 freeway to shut down for about 4 hours while forcing thousands of residents in this area to shelter in place. The good news at this point, no injuries were reported, and officials do say that shelter in place order has now been lifted, but residents describe hearing a loud noise that shook their home along with that strong odor.
In the house, just watching TV, and all of a sudden We just hear boom. The house rattles, shakes.
SoCal Gas says the natural gas line rupture happened Saturday afternoon just after 4 o'clock near Ridge Route Road and Pinecrest Place, close to the 5 freeway. Authorities shut down all lanes on the 5 in both directions, and nearby residents were told to shelter in place, closing their doors and windows while turning off heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Also, hazmat crews were monitoring air quality here in the area. Neighbors tell us they heard a loud booming noise. They say they felt their homes shake, and then it came with a strong rotten egg smell, sending many of them outside anxious and unsure of what to do next. Officials say no injuries were reported. SoCal Gas crews say they isolated the damaged section and stopped the leak, but the cause of the break is still under investigation. LA County fire officials say the loud noise residents heard was not an explosion, but instead it came from the pressure inside of the gas line.
Whatever the size may be, as it rushes out, especially if it's underground, it pushes up everything up in the air and creates some type of cloud, okay? It also makes loud noises, and also the ground will shake because of this gas rushing through a smaller hole than it's used to.
We were probably within a half mile of it. So we went down there, and the noise literally was deafening. People were walking out of their homes on the old road, their hands over their ears, and it was so loud. I'm getting goosebumps at this moment. So we went down there and we're like, we got to go. We got to go.
By late last night, the shelter-in-place order was lifted and the freeway reopened. This morning, crews are focusing on the repairs and the investigation, including the use of drones to help pinpoint the exact rupture location in a harder-to-reach area. Fire officials say there's no indication right now that this was tied to weather, but SoCal Gas says they have observed significant land movement near the break and that they're not ruling anything out yet at this point. Residents in nearby communities back out here on the scene are being told that the natural gas smell is normal at this point until the line dissipates, the odor from the line dissipates. However, we can tell you that SoCal Gas says that all homes, the gas has been restored to them in this area of Castaic. That is the latest for now. Reporting from Castaic, I'm Omar Lewis. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
All right, Omar, thank you. An update to that story of a bear living under an Altadena home. Well, a trap set for the animal ends up catching a bear, but a different one. Yeah, you heard me right. Biologists from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife set the bear trap December 9th in an attempt to catch a 550-pound bear that has wedged itself into a crawl space under Ken Johnson's home. But the trap instead caught a different bear. After hearing the cage rattling, Johnson realized it wasn't the right bear. The second bear was tagged and released in a nearby habitat. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife also decided to remove the trap for now.
Wow. And we're in the final stretch as artists work around the clock to get the 2026 Rose Parade floats completed. You are right now taking a live look in Pasadena. There we go. Today, the Tournament of Roses giving visitors a one-of-a-kind opportunity to get up and close sneak peek and see how the floats are really created. Viewing opens to the public starting at 9 o'clock this morning, goes until 5 at Rosemont Pavilion. That's at 700 Secco Street. You do need a ticket to enter. They cost $21. They will also hold viewing hours tomorrow and Tuesday from 11 to 5 p.m. So get out there, enjoy. We know rain coming next week, probably during the parade. Now, this year's Christmas has already come and gone, but when is the right time to take down your decorations?
Well, experts say there's not a single right day to pack up the holiday decor, but a few common traditions have emerged. Some people pack everything up right away on December 26th, also known as Boxing Day. Others say it just has to happen before New Year's. Some don't take anything down until after January 7th. That's when Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas. And for those who really love the look, leaving decor up through the winter is apparently fair game. And some people even keep their Christmas tree up all year long. So do what feels right for you is the headline here.
Exactly. And mine's a real tree, so I feel like it's just starting to really shed at this point. I want it out.
Yeah, mine's pretty dead too.
Yeah.
It's got to go. Casey
Mine
Montoya.
goes back in the box.
Yeah, just take it piece by piece.
It'll probably be up for a while. All right, outside we go this morning. Cold start to the day. Temperatures this afternoon below average for a lot of us. We will see clear skies for the next couple of days, and then things change. 49 currently at LAX, 44 in Ontario. It's 46 in Santa Ana, and 23 degrees in Big Bear. Air quality, good to moderate for everyone in SoCal today. So we're going to be dealing with some gusty winds for the next couple of days, next few days actually. So the Santa Ana winds will be picking up into the afternoon, mainly for this wind corridor, but we'll also see some really strong winds for our mountain communities and some of those deserts. So overnight, though, look what happens. We start to see all the purple appearing on here. Those are stronger gusts, 45, 50 miles an hour. And even if we see winds stronger than 50 miles an hour, that's just as strong as this map goes. We're expecting to see some isolated gusts in some areas stronger than 50 miles per hour. So notice how this doesn't really let up into Monday afternoon, Monday evening, overnight Tuesday. That wind corridor really going to still be dealing with those gusty winds all throughout Tuesday. So for the Santa Monica Mountains, Highway 14 corridor, I-5 corridor, I just know that the wind advisory for you guys is from 6 to 10 tonight, and then it turns into a high wind watch. So the high wind watch also for some of our mountains and areas of the Inland Empire. This is where we see stronger sustained winds and stronger gusts, up to 60 miles an hour as possible. So we'll see dry conditions today, dry conditions and sunny for our Monday. Tuesday, we start to see an increase in clouds, and there's a good shot that by Wednesday in the afternoon to evening, that is when the rain will begin. New Year's Day, widespread rain for everyone, and then showers will linger into Friday and Saturday for most of us. So we're just looking at a ½ inch to 1.5 inches for the coasts and valleys. That's as of now, and 1.5 to 2.5 inches for the foothill and mountain communities. So LA Basin, dry conditions through Tuesday, and then the rain begins. And I think that rain's going to stick around longer than Saturday. This is just your 7-day forecast. It is looking like we'll see rain for the next several days after that as well. Inland Empire, upper 60s today and tomorrow with gusty winds. We're in the 70s just for a couple of days, and then that rain begins, and it's going to stick around through the weekend as well. San Fernando Valley today, 69 degrees. Tomorrow, we're in the 70s. We'll stay in the 70s through Wednesday, back to the 60s Thursday, and it's very likely that rain starts Wednesday, second part of the day, and lasts all the way into the weekend. Back to you.
All right, Casey, thank you.